How's it going, Star Seekers? Hope you're all keeping safe, and welcome back to the channel for another review, this time for a smaller, lesser known indie title called Gunpig Firepower for Hire. It's a classic fast-paced top-down twin-stick shooter where you blast your way through 8 enemy-filled levels using various weapons at your disposal, as you attempt to rid a space station of rogue out-of-control robot space monsters. The game originally released on Steam but has just been ported to the Switch where it feels right at home, so let's jump into this review and take a look at what the game has to offer. So Gunpig features only one game mode, which sees you working your way through 8 standard levels and 2 bonus levels. Things start off pretty easy as the first few levels get you used to controlling your ship and familiarise yourself with the game's mechanics. You control your ship with the left thumbstick, aim with the right thumbstick and fire your primary weapons by holding ZL or ZR. Though to save your fingers you can turn fire lock on, which turns auto fire on with a single tap of the trigger. Now Gunpig is essentially a high score chaser, where you earn points by destroying enemies and other objects and collecting a bunch of different pickups found within silver crates scattered about levels. You can also earn some bonus points by completing stages faster, though these points often aren't worth as much as taking the extra time to kill a few additional enemies. As you make your way through levels, you encounter a decent variety of enemies, each with their own fire patterns, and they become progressively more powerful towards the end of the game as their health and damage is increased, but luckily you have a host of weapons and power-ups to help you exterminate them. Now for some reason, weapon types in the game take the form of fruits, and you begin the game with a standard cherry gun indicated by an icon in the top left of the screen, below your shields bar, which is essentially your health meter. After the first introduction level, you'll begin to find weapon pads in levels, which cycle through a variety of fruits, and moving your ship over them will equip the weapon. Now there are 9 different types of weapon in the game, and each has a different fire pattern and offers a different amount of damage. And while there is no guide in the game to tell you how much damage each one does, the general rule of thumb is that weapons with shorter projectile spreads do more damage per hit. Each weapon also comes with one of 3 special abilities, but first you need to charge the orange alt fire bar in order to activate it. Now in addition to the different weapons, you also have a few different power-ups that you can find in purple containers, and these include things like damage, speed or shield boosts, but they only offer temporary boosts which last for around 10 seconds. So your objective in Gunpig is simple: work your way through all 8 levels without dying to earn the highest score possible. At the end of each level you'll encounter a boss who you must defeat and collect their orb to move on to the next level, and bosses in the game are essentially just larger enemies with different fire patterns, and they're not overly challenging. Now flying into enemies or the projectiles will deal damage to your shields, which can be recovered by collecting metal orbs which enemies drop on death, but losing all of your health will end your run. At this point you can choose to continue from the start of your current level, but this will reset your score to 0, so you may as well just start over unless you just want to see the game's ending. Unfortunately though, there are no online leaderboards, so your high score is just for local bragging rights. Beyond repeating your run to earn a better score, the only other thing that Gunpig has to offer in terms of gameplay are its hidden secret areas, which can be found by breaking flashing walls in levels. As well as containing a bunch of collectibles to bump up your score, these areas also contain special cards which unlock fridge magnets displaying some cool artwork of backs, each drawn by a different artist. So overall, Gunpig's gameplay is generally pretty solid. It's not a very difficult game, and it only really becomes a little bit more challenging in the last couple of levels, so I feel it's geared more towards a younger audience. On average, each run will take around 40 minutes to an hour to work through, and I do feel it could have done with a wave-based endless high score mode and online leaderboards to give it a little bit more replayability. When it comes to issues though, there's not much to complain about, and I think the only thing that I'd have to criticise is your ship's movement, which is a bit sensitive and it does feel a little like you're skating on ice, so collecting smaller pickups can be a bit of a pain. In general though, I think the devs did a good job with the game, and it's well suited to act as an introduction into the twin-stick shooter genre. So now let's get on to rating the game. Now I rate games between 1 and 5 stars, with a shovelware stamp of approval reserved for only the worst eShop titles. This rating is based on my own personal opinion on the quality and quantity of a title's gameplay, and whether I think it offers value for money to potential buyers. For a rating, I'd give Gunpig Firepower for Hire 2 out of 5 stars. Gunpig is a simple twin-stick shooter with some decent variety to its enemies and weapons, and while it won't challenge seasoned veterans and is a little light on content, it's an accessible introduction into the twin-stick shooter genre which won't break the bank. You can get Gunpig Firepower for Hire from the UK Switch eShop for £4.49, or from the US eShop for $4.99. Alternatively, the game's also available on Steam. And that just about wraps up this review of Gunpig Firepower for Hire. Hit that like button if you enjoyed the review and it helped you out, and let me know your thoughts and opinions on the game and whether you're going to be picking it up in the comments section below. As always, don't forget to smash that subscribe button if you want to be notified of future reviews for Nintendo Switch games, and feel free to join the Starseekers Discord server where I'm always up for a chat. For now though, I just want to thank you all once again for watching, and until next time, take care and game on.